Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another day of the Grateful series, or Grateful for series. And today we are grateful for education. And I'm doing this a little bit differently than I thought I would. Thought I would generally speak about education, or write about education. But what I decided to do was I'm documenting a day that we were able to go and visit Skywalker Ranch. And if you are a George Lucas fan, you might know that Skywalker Ranch is where they do all of the sound for any of the Lucasfilm movies. And it's apparently pretty rare to be able to get a pass to go in for the day, at least back in the day when we went. This is, I want to say it was 2005, 6, 2006, maybe. I don't know. Maybe, it might have been 2007. It was in the mid 2000s though, and it was pretty rare to get a pass. And you had to know somebody who worked there, and you had to have an escort the entire time you're there. And so I'm documenting that we had this awesome experience. And the main reason we had this awesome experience is because we chose to homeschool. This was on a day that my husband's friend who worked there was able to get us in and take us there. And if my kids were in school, there would be no way that we would be able to have this experience. And a lot of the other experiences that we had, we were able to travel a lot. My husband traveled for work, and we would load up our RV and we would homeschool on the road. And my kids got kind of a real world experience of seeing things. We would stop at all of the historical sites and visit all of those, and they would learn things they probably would not have learned out of a textbook. Not saying that textbook learning is bad, but it was just a really cool experience for us. And so I am just really grateful for the educational experience that we had, and that we are given the opportunity to do things like homeschooling. And so that is kind of what I talk about in my journaling. The journaling is going to go on the back side of that page that says Visitor Pass. This is the first time I'm using a flip flap. It is a 3x4 flip flap from Close to My Heart. And so I'm trying that out for the first time. I have a photograph of the map of Skywalker Ranch. Now, I do have several other photos that go in this series of pages, but this is the main one where I'm just talking about how we were able to go and check this out, because it's not something that you normally can go and do. And like I said, if we were in school, there was no way that we would have been able to do it. So I pulled out my Catherine Pooler inks. I pulled one out in eucalyptus and one in, so I'm trying it with the black ink first, but it doesn't go as well as I thought. So I pull out another one in a darker ink. I want to say it's called Spruce, but I could be wrong on that. It is from the Zen collection, and it's the darker green that is much smaller than the larger one, because I have them in the minis. And the stamp that I'm using is called HUD. It's from Paper Roses, and it is an Australian-based company. And I don't know what HUD means to Australia. Here, HUD typically means housing and urban development or something like that, but I don't know what it means in Australia, so I can't tell you that. But I thought this was really cool because it kind of reminded me of like a speaker or sound waves coming out of a speaker. And I could be totally off my rocker as to what it's intended to be, but that's what it kind of read as to me. So I decided to stamp it in these two different green colors. I'm kind of pulling the green from the center of that paper. That paper is from Altenew. I think it was from their collaboration with Pink Fresh Studio, maybe. So it's a Pink Fresh Altenew collab paper, I'm pretty sure. And I did hold up the branding strip there for you to see. You can go back and pause on that, or I don't actually think I have the branding strip anymore because I've already taken the trash out. And so I don't know that I could tell you the actual name of the paper. So then I'm just laying down a couple of these these inks, and obviously the light green one I need to get a refill for. But I am using this dye from Altenew, and I will put the link to that down below. Hopefully I remember today, because I recognize that I forgot to do that on my one about travel, but I will go back and put that in kind of after the fact. But I will put a link to this one down below as well, and to that stamp, so that you can see what they are, where I got them. And so I'm really liking the way that they look. And so the photos On the right-hand page, it is actually the sound studio and taken from afar. And Skywalker Ranch is like hundreds, actually, I think it's actually more than 2,000 acres large. But everything's kind of very sprawling, and so there's a lot of greenery, and there's obviously a lake there. I have a little story to tell about that lake, and that is going to probably go on the back of the Visitor Day Pass as well. And the story is that they told my daughter, who is a huge Star Wars fan and was at that time as well, that they told us that Clint Eastwood and George Lucas went for a walk around that lake while they were negotiating the $1 million baby deal. And so my daughter heard that, and she really wanted to go walk around the lake so that she could say that she walked where George Lucas walked. And I said, well, what about Clint Eastwood? And she's like, I don't know who he is. So I just thought that was funny, given that she was probably like 9 or 10 years old when this happened. So anyway, I just wanted to tell that story as well. Just a little fun fact. And then I pulled out these floral ephemera pieces. I don't know where or who they're made by. I got them in a kit from Creative Cuts Club, and I just have a few of them, and so I'm pulling those out. And then I'm pulling out some phrase stickers from one of the Cocoa Vanilla Boy collections from way back before Legendary, maybe a couple years before that. And so those little phrase stickers, one says off the charts, one says so much fun, and the other one says adventure. And I thought it was those were all appropriate and very generic sayings, so I went ahead and put those down. I also liked that the die cut that I used kind of looks like a circuit board or something like that, because we saw all of these like awesome soundboards and stuff, which I know a circuit board and a soundboard are different, but I'm sure a soundboard has some kind of circuitry inside of it. So I thought that was appropriate as well. I do pop the florals up onto some foam tape just to give some added dimension. And while I do that, I'll remind you the links for MK's video is down below, so go and check her out today too. I can't wait to see what she has for education. It's been very fun to see what each other have done and our different takes on these different prompts for the month of November. So go and check that out. If you're curious where I got that Skywalker Ranch title, I just poached one of their logos off of the internet and print it on some cardstock on my Brother printer. So it's nothing fancy, it's just set to the best setting, and it's just white cardstock. It might be Nina Solar White, it's usually what I use, but right now the stack is a little bit mixed up, so it could be something else, but it's just white cardstock, nothing fancy, and it's just 8.5 by 11 run through the printer. So I just pull in some of the little tiny florals, and then I have these 2 green tabs that are on chipboard, and I decided to use those. I pulled those out a little earlier in the video and stuck them up on to the top of the screen there, so I would remember to use them. And yay, today I actually remembered to use them, so that is very exciting. And I also decided that I pulled in the green because there are the green map and the green day pass. And then when you flip the day pass over, and I apologize I didn't show this a lot, but there is a secondary one. It's basically their rules of their facility. So basically, like, you have to be with someone at all times. You're not allowed to go through any doors that are closed. And I don't know, there's a whole bunch of different rules, but it was really cool. They actually do have in one of the main house, there's like a big main Victorian house there that has, I think it has their cafeteria or something like that in it. I could be totally wrong on that, but it does have like an area to look at the original Star Wars models, or some of the original Star Wars models, and some of the Indiana Jones props and several other things like that. So it was really cool. It was an awesome experience for my kids, and it was educational because they got to learn a little bit about what it takes to do sound work and movie work, and so it was just kind of a cool experience that a lot of people don't get to do. And so I am just really grateful for the opportunity, and that we were afforded that opportunity by our choice to homeschool. And like I said, we got to go a lot of other places and see a lot of other things, and it was an educational experience that I'm sure my kids will not forget anytime soon. They have actually been in all 14 Western states by RV, and we have seen many of the historic sites and state parks and such like that. And we don't just stop and see them. We actually do a bit of research on them, or we study them from a different perspective. So it's kind of cool. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have questions or comments, as always, leave them down below. It has been taking me a little longer to get back to people as my calendar has gotten really busy lately. So just hang in there and I will read them, and I do get back to you, and I do appreciate every single comment that you guys leave. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.